Alrighty, another week around the trash fire. Your host Matthias, so I'm with the boy.
John.
So we've made it to December,
Yes.
the final month of
Almost time.
2022.
Yeah, almost time for New Year, New Army.
Yeah, no, you can miss me with that. I ain't doing no new year, new army thing. I've done that. I used to do that like every other year. Not anymore. Cannot sustain it. Cannot support it. You can find me doing new warband.
There you go. New Year, New Warband.
New year, new warband. New year, new kill team, something like that. But no more armies. Please, God, no more armies. But we got that coming around. Got the Black Library preview to talk about, and we got just pretty much just Warhammer news all around.
Yeah.
So let's jump in with our first thing here, and that would be the coin, and we're getting two this month. Well, first we'll talk about the model. We're getting a skink, which I believe is old, right?
Yeah,
This is not updated.
it is the old skink, so I'm curious if how they're gonna package this because the past few model of the months came in their own sprue. So I wonder if they'll continue that, or more likely they'll probably just have the old style, which is it's already built and you just get it in a box.
I would assume that style. That would make more sense to me
Yeah.
because they're not big models. So
Yeah.
we're getting that, and then the coins, getting a Golf Rocka and the uh what is this? The Retributor.
Yeah, the just a storm. I forgot the name, but the new Stormcast Vindicator, I think.
Got it. It's a war cry. There you go. That's what it says. War cry coin.
Oh,
So
the work. Yeah, yeah.
there we go. Two coins for those people who wanted to collect more things other than models.
Yes.
But we can move on from this to our good old classic Sunday preview, which looks like we're not finally, we're getting some Lord of the Rings releases. So again, I think we talked about this like 2 months ago. Battle of Osgoloth, the two player starter set that they're that they're releasing. This is coming. The strategy guide, or I mean the rules manual for the game.
Hmm. Yeah,
Dice.
it's not a new edition. This is just the rule book with all the existing updates since
Yep.
the game was released a few years ago.
The Middle Earth dice, which look nice.
Yeah, they do.
You got that marble tint to them, which I always like. Those are my favorite kind of dice. Think they missed out on the Sauron dice there. Should have gone orange instead of red, but whatever, it's fine. Just because they went with the eye symbol, I think orange would have probably worked. Though, not too sure. Get that. They're bringing back old models, the ring bearers when they become invisible. Always a cool concept. Never bought any of them though. Gnarlwood coming out. They what are these called? The Loon Court. Getting the Fearsome Fortress rival decks. For Kill Team, we're getting the Tactical Ops mission cards, which we'll be talking about a little later in a little bit more detail. And then for Heresy Thursday, or not Heresy Thursday, for Horus Heresy, we're getting the Scorpius missile tank
Yep, in plastic.
in
We're all
plastic.
you kind of scared this is coming out because this is a really strong unit, and being plastic means we'll be seeing it more of it in the field. So yeah, it should be fun for us
Wait,
Heresy players watching our dude just get deleted.
what are you talking about? Come on. You don't want to have everyone have their own Scorpius that is now easily accessible?
I mean, yeah, I just wish other things would come out first, but it's in the Rhino chassis. I get why they decided to go with something like this first. I think it's the only Rhino chassis vehicle left because the other one's a Predator.
Hmm. I see.
It's just super strong. It's large blast, rending 4 up. Doesn't need line of sight. Strength 8. Yeah,
Yeah, it is
pretty
pretty
nasty.
awful. Pretty awful to fight against. Moving on from that, we get the newest White Dwarf. Gonna have some 40k map campaign rules and some orc kill team expedition heats up. So I guess there's some kind of orc storyline going on right now. But there we go, we're getting that. Trading cards. This I am not excited for whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure someone likes these, but not me.
So I just going to assume it's just trading cards, just nothing special about them. Just has the artwork on them. That would be my guess. There's gonna be 225 cards. 150 only war cards, 75 special cards, 500 parallel cards available with the special finishers that are harder to find. I don't even know what that means. I don't want to get into it. But GW wants to make that money. They want to get in that card market. So, more stuff for you guys to collect. Munchkin, I believe the 40k one already existed.
AOS one as well. I think these are just re-releases, at least, or releasing it on the Games Workshop web store, because you could already get these at your local board game retailers.
Huh. I did not know AOS out. I thought that one was. But there you go for any Munchkin fans out there. The Interrogator merchandise. You want to live your life as an Inquisitor? There you go. Get yourself a t-shirt and a jacket. And Warhammer Plus. Not too much interesting stuff. It's how to paint your golf rocker and watch for free the battle report for Middle Earth. I wonder how that one works. They're gonna like just post it on YouTube or something.
I could probably just make an account and then it's because you could access the website without a paid subscription. You just can't access the paid content.
Hmm. Well, there you go. Not as jam-packed, but that is the stuff that is coming out for this Saturday pre-order. But now we can move on to the good and the meaty news bits. Have you been following these Arks of Omen reveals?
No, not really.
Well, don't worry, because they don't really give any information. They're
Sure.
like a minute long. The guy says the name of the card and then gives a very vague explanation. So this one is the Great Host. Just has a bunch of wolves' heads on spears. Obviously just pertaining to the Arks of Omen narrative that's coming out. But I don't know how many of these are going to make. I don't know if it's going to be every day in December. But hopefully we'll be getting some good reveals out of this. Because as of right now, it's pretty basic.
It'll be neat.
But it'll be cool to see the reveals. and right now there's 5 of them right now. Then the fifth one just came out today, so I assume they're gonna do one every day. Moving on from that, Warcry. Warcry gets a app. Interesting enough, just in time for the new edition or box set, I should say. Um, as someone who's played a lot of Warcry, have you ever used any of the features other than to just build an army? Like, have you ever done a campaign and all that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. I've played. I think I've completed 2 Warcry campaigns,
Mm-hmm.
and by completing, I mean you complete the quest line for your faction. And I will still praise Warcry's campaign system, where it doesn't require like if someone plays a lot and other people don't, that person isn't OP. They get like few items, but it's not going to be super swingy like in Necromunda. Like in Necromunda, if someone plays a lot and some people don't, they will be underpowered
Oh,
by
of
far.
course. You gotta
But in
get that
Warcry,
money.
no, it's just more flavorful and all that. So yeah, I played a bunch of Warcry campaigns, and having an app to track all of this is really helpful. I have not downloaded it yet because I'm not playing Warcry at the moment. Hopefully it works. I mean, the 40K app sucks, but the AOS app is great. So hopefully the Warcry app is great.
Well, I feel like the Warcry app would be just fine. Because, I mean, I don't want to put it past GW. I know they're a small indie company, they have a lot of struggles. But I feel like Warcry doesn't have as much complexity as the 40K app would
Yeah, it
have.
seems like this. Let me see. Yeah, I think it is faction specific, but yeah, it's not like there's war gear. I think war gear is really what breaks the 40K app. As someone who's used it before and talking to people who have used it, it's really the war gear because 40K has so many damn options for war gear and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The example my buddy uses is that Tau Commander has so many different options you could equip it with that it just breaks the app. It just crashes like, oh, new thing, like don't know what to do, just crashes. But for AOS, there's no war gear. I mean, there's relics, but
There's not
there's
as
no.
many,
Yeah, and yeah,
and a lot
exactly.
of them are generic.
And it's mostly just one relic per hero, not like a combination, you know. So it doesn't. It works great. And Warcry is the same. There's no war gear in Warcry. It's just units, data sheets, and items you get in the campaign.
Right. Well, there we go. I'll probably. Well, I guess I should check because I didn't really check. This is now what's it called? Warhammer Plus exclusive, right? This is
No, this is free for everyone.
free for everyone. I'll probably pick this up, give it a shot.
And then there's an online option too, the roster builder, and you could pick any faction and build your thing, which is super cool.
That's what I've always used is the roster builder.
Yep, and it works well.
It does. It still works good. But yeah, there we go. Another positive thing happening for Warcry. Moving on from that, the Meta Watch. I just wanted to bring this up because the meta has changed. I haven't kept up too much on the 40K, but I just want to go to the faction win rate right here. And as we can see, we have 3 new winners here, and one of them surprising to me, at least, which is just Zinch with a 70% win rate. I never thought in my lifetime I would see Zinch up on the top here.
Really? Oh yeah, I forgot you didn't play 7th edition.
But for 40K,
Yeah, they were pretty busted in 7th. You had like Lord of Change spam, horrors that were wizards that could summon other horrors. It was crazy. He literally had horrors summoning horrors who could summon more horrors. So you had Zinch players, like Zinch demon players, who would be up like 1,000 points over the course of a game just because they were summoning stuff that could also summon stuff. It was insanely disgusting.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I stopped playing a little bit of 7th edition, but the time that I was playing 7th edition, I mean, with all the power players in the game store that I was working at, I don't think anyone ever ran Zinch.
Well, that's just probably a small sample size, but I remember because I was working for GW at the time, and yeah, we were talking about the tournament results, and consistently, and you in top tens, you had several Zinch players, or you had Zinch elements of lists that
Okay,
were
so when
considered
you
as top
started working
important.
for G Dubs, that was what, 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
when I dipped out of the hobby.
got it. Yeah, that's yeah, I remember Zinch was insane, like kind of defined seventh edition. I mean, the Zinch is the reason you can't get free units in 40k. Let's put it that way, because that's all. That's what they do. Is horrors could summon other demons, and it was just insane. But after
Yeah,
that, it hadn't really been that crazy in eighth edition. I don't think. And in ninth, yeah, this is when they're getting back. I think it's because of flamers. Flamers are super good or something.
that's what I hear. I hear the flamer spam is woo is OP,
Yeah.
and then you just take like a 6-man what's it called, rubric marines. Because from my understanding of how I understand it, you can, you know, take the take Zinch demons and combine them with your Thousand Sons, and with which would normally make you lose your army ability, aka like the Cabal points.
Hmm.
But if you have a specific amount, if you have a specific percentage of power dedicated to Thousand Sons and to the Zinch, you do not lose your bonuses. So
Oh, okay.
what I hear is you make like, 3 6-man rubric marines, because just adding one more rubric to that 5-man increases their power by, I don't know because I don't play with power, but it increases their power enough to where you could run like 15 flamers and just cause havoc with that. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's, someone's always out there looking to bend those rules.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, I'm just surprised. I didn't think there was a big enough Zinch player base out there, but here we are.
Yeah, something's OP. Something, it it gets spammed, and here we are.
Hey man, D6 auto hits at range 12, that move 12. I mean, that's a lot of firepower right there. But then next, surprisingly, we got Demons coming in at 57 and Leagues of Votan. But Leagues of Votan isn't really that big. But they did knock out the top 3 from their original spot: the Harlequins, the Tyranids, and the what's it, Custodians? I have to look at the bottom list here. Custodians, yeah. The meta shifts have come. Unfortunately, Mechanica is still at the bottom. Not doing too hot.
Yeah. But overall, the game's in a solid spot. I mean, if most of your armies are in that range, that's not bad, especially for a game with this many factions.
Yeah. And another faction on the way.
Yeah, and another faction on the way.
Yeah, it's, they're doing it. They're doing a good enough job. And that's all we can say for GW. Give them a little golf clap right there. They're doing it. You know, they're trying to do the impossible.
Yes, we should balance a game with more than what, 5 factions.
Exactly. But as long as they're gonna do the every 6 months update. I mean, we're coming up to Arks of Omen, so that'll be the next update.
Yeah.
So we'll see what changes they do. I will be curious to see uh when the next book will be released, because I'll be going to LVO, so I want to know, will it be out
Or world
before
leaders.
or after?
For world leaders, you mean? Or guard for guard's already out, but world leaders, you mean?
Oh no, I know World Eaters aren't gonna come out. I'm talking about the next
Oh, the
uh
balance update.
yeah, the balance update.
Got it. Yeah.
The balance update and the tournament update.
Oh, the I see. Yeah, the match play points thing.
Yeah, there you go, match play. I was trying to remember what it was called, but I couldn't think of it. So, yeah, I wonder if the next match play book will be out before or after LVO.
Yeah.
So I think the deadline's the 15th of January. So it has to beat that to qualify in the LVO. But there we go. That is the meta watch. This is the army's setting right now as we're getting closer to 10th edition here. Moving on to sorry, I almost threw up in my mouth there. Blood Bowl, model of the month here, our new model Monday. We got a chainsaw goblin. I don't know what it is. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And
Like, I'm sure orc players would use this as a grot or something, but yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you use it as a grot, it fits. You could put it pretty much with anything. Well, maybe not AOS, but 40k, yes,
Yeah,
definitely fits into 40k.
absolutely.
But I have no more comments to say on this model, so I'm just gonna move on. Kill Team card pack. We briefly skimmed over this, but they are offering the tactical ops and mission card packs, which I think I would pick up.
Yeah, me too. This is kind of cool. It's lets you set up a mission quickly, or it has this, no book flipping. It's right here in front of you.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about it. I think definitely do better with a lot of cheat sheets.
Hmm.
So having just the cards, give me the battle scenario, look it up. Cards that have the rules on them. That's always nice to have. It's just makes it, in my opinion, makes it a lot easier. I don't really like the book, and I think in my opinion, the Kill Team book's a bit too vague. AKA my favorite example to always go to is the cover. What the hell does cover do? I mean, I know what it does now, but when you look at the rulebook, it doesn't explain what cover does. It just says, if you can draw a line from here to here, they're in light cover. Or if
Yeah,
it's this way, it's heavy cover.
and you have to look at the terrain section to figure out what light and heavy does, which is just not intuitive at all.
Yeah, because I spent like 30 minutes like, but what does it mean? What
Yeah,
does that mean?
like there's no reference. It just says this is how you determine what light and heavy. If someone's in light and heavy cover, like in the shooting section, where that would usually be,
Yeah, and
and
then
then
it
it
does
doesn't tell
say,
you. Yeah, it doesn't tell you where to find what light and heavy cover do. You got to look for it.
no, it says go to this page, and it's like literally the next page over. Doesn't explain anything.
Yeah,
And it's just
like it's in the book somewhere, just not easy to find.
yeah, it's book's not my favorite, but assuming it has cards like that would tell me what cover does and all that. That would be nice. But honestly, I think I would pick these up because my group is slowly getting more and more into Kill Team. We're not quite there yet, but for quick pickup games, these are great to have.
We should finish painting my Chaos Marines, play some Kill Team.
Yeah, man, come on by. I'll have
Yeah,
to finish my Necrons.
there you go.
But yes, I would recommend these. I would recommend this. I think would be a good buy, unless you already know the rules off the back of your hand as a active and avid kill team player. As someone as casual like me, I would use these. Moving on from this, our last story here, and is the Black Library preview show that happened Sunday, I want to say. So let's just go down the list, shall we? We got our model. We were both wrong. I don't remember what we said. Do you remember what you predicted?
I said I hope it was some heresy thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
this guy sucks. As I mean, okay, he's not a bad model. He's a cool model. I could actually see him in a Black Templar's army, but for an exclusive Black Library thing, it's just a Space Marine captain. Like he doesn't even have a different helmet. It's just the Primaris helmet.
Is he Black? I mean, not Black. Is he Black Templar?
No, he's not.
Okay, I
He's
was
not.
gonna say. I'm like, it says he's
No, but I
by
could use the
Mabuti
model. Like
Gilliman.
I'm saying, like, I could replace the shoulder pad and then use him in my Black Templar's army.
Ah, okay.
But like, but that's my point. Like it's a shoulder pad replacement from being a different model. It's not that unique. I mean, it's weird because like Space Marines, they have to dance that fine line of unique and detailed and chapter specific for a narrative character, like what a Black Library thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he does toe the line well, but it's just another Space Marine, and I know it's been a while since we got Space Marine stuff. To be quite like on the grand scheme of things, like what Space Marine things came out in 2022, right? Not a lot. A kill team, I think. Like, well, what are the Space Marine releases this year? I don't know.
New Space Marines. That would
Yeah,
just be probably nothing, really. But
yeah,
being
I don't know.
honest,
So
yeah, I understand. But
yeah, it's just
there we
kind of generic.
go. It an easy model for GW to make a Space Marine. I don't know anything about this character though. Dawn of Fire. Have you read that series?
I have not. Just not interested in that
When I first
narrative.
saw this model, I thought it was an apothecary, and I was like, I think I'll pick this model up. But
Oh yeah,
when I read more into it, I'm like, oh, never mind.
I do like the half cape actually. That's kind of unique and new. It's not a full cape; it's like a shawl kind of thing.
Hmm.
But my point is like you could have released this as a regular, like it doesn't scream Black Library exclusive. It's just like Space Marine Captain. It fits in a regular
Well,
piece.
GW. They love their
But
Space Marine captains. He's even
they
got the
do.
tactical rock.
You gotta have the tactical rock. Yep,
Always.
always.
Well, moving on from that, we got Dawn of Fire, we got the Iron Kingdom. The next novel in the series, I would assume. Again,
Hmm.
I haven't read any of the Dawn of Fire, so I cannot comment on any of this. And you're probably gonna get that a lot from me, as someone who's not actively reading the 40K books. But there we go. We got a special edition of the book, paperback, leather bound book. I would assume. Otherwise, it's just engraving on the book. Probably just engraving on the book. And some special text on it on the back, I would assume. Moving on from that. Uh, here's something you called, predicted. Volume 1 of the End in Death.
Yes. Limited edition as always, and they're implying it's gonna come out early next year, which is a good sign. So within the first 6 months.
It's pretty much the same thing as the Iron book here. We got paperback, big book. Got a hardcover book. Some engraving of the Aquila, and a map, it looks like, as well, in this book. Do you want to talk about it?
Um, I mean, the video with the Dan Admin interview, it's kind of vague. It just tells us that, big reveals in this book, things that you wouldn't expect are going to happen, or things that you expect are going to be subverted, stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to read it, but also it's like, come on, what kind of crap is Dan Abnett going to pull now? Like, oh, actually, Sanguinius kills the Emperor, not Horus, or like John Grammaticus is on sits the throne instead of Malcador or something dumb. I don't know. But we'll see. I mean, it is the end of the Horus Heresy series, so it is
Well,
hype.
it's the end of part one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm talking about the first two books, or these two books, because they do reveal the artwork for volume two.
Yes, they do. We got Sanguinius and Horus.
Um, I don't know. It's cool, but for the final book, hopefully the final book in this long, groundbreaking series, it's kind of bland for what it is, in my opinion. And I love these series. Um, I guess it's the first art we see of not it's not the first art. It's one of the few arts we see of Sanguinius fighting Horus, where he's actually, not on the floor bleeding. He's actually fighting. So that's kind of cool. But yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
as someone who is a active reader of the Horus Heresy and big fan of 30K, do you think these books will live up to the hype?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the book will not disappoint in terms of telling the story. I mean, it's not even a fear for me. Just like the face palming will be like what kind of twists, like because Dan Abnett he invented the perpetual storyline, and he's shoehorning all these, in my opinion, shoehorning all these kind of plot lines that don't really go anywhere. I mean, he invented the Primarch Mother, like Erda. That's his invention. Um, like I don't know if what kind of stuff like that he's gonna put in the final. Like, that like that guy, that guardsman who jumps in front of Horus, like we know that's probably gonna get retconned. Like that's not gonna happen. Yeah, like that's not happening. Um,
Wait, what do you mean that's not happening? That'll definitely happen.
because that guy's a perpetual. He's like a super psyker, not a guardsman.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Which so it's stuff like that of like, okay, that's gonna get changed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy, that guardsman is confirmed to be the Emperor's like first war master back in like when he was a warlord.
Oh my god, okay.
Um, so stuff like I mean that's all Dan Abnett, right? That was in Saturnine. So this is all like it's stuff like that that's gonna be the big head scratcher. Like what kind of craziness is gonna happen?
All the reveals. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'll get into it later. But
yeah.
okay.
So we'll see. I mean, it's not gonna be Game of Thrones season 8. I think it's Dan Abnett. He's a great author. He just likes to invent things randomly. So
If you give him the right stuff, he's a great author.
yeah,
Some other
yeah.
stuff, I can tell you, not so good.
Yep, Ravenor not so good. Prospero Burns not so good.
Alrighty then. Well, let's see what else we got here. Uh, Age of Sigmar. We got the Badloon Rising. Uh, don't care. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
cool. Thoughts. Yay. Moving on.
I already gave my opinion on AOS and how I can't get into those stories for some reason. Uh, First Founding is getting a hardcover special edition book here.
So this is super cool. I'm actually going to pick this up. It's kind of like a coffee table encyclopedia-ish book with artwork about the first founding chapters, so the nine loyalist legions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to detail the history from the end of the heresy to the current time when they're all Primaris, which is pretty cool. This is a must buy for me, I think. I love this kind of stuff. I wish Warhammer had more of this, of just like lore books. It's hard to find just lore books for Warhammer that don't have game rules in them, whether it's a codex, excuse me, or an RPG book with rules. So this is exciting. This is a even the black books, which I love. A significant chunk of them are gaming content.
Well, it
So
includes 30 specially commissioned illustrations, 9 of
yeah,
which amazing double page spreads.
yeah. So you can count me in on picking this up.
I'll probably pick it up. I know Will, when Will was here, he was talking about something similar to these books. I don't remember what it was, but you know, it just had like all the art in it.
Oh yeah, the AOS art books and the 40K art books, I believe.
Yeah. So I think I'd pick this up. I think it would be, like you said, a cool coffee book
Yeah.
decoration. Moving on, we got the Black Library Celebration of 2023. Looks like we're getting some Warhammer, Old World Warhammer, I think. It's hard to tell because it's using the Warhammer logo, not the AOS logo.
Which one?
The Skarsnik by Guy
Oh, this
Bailey.
is the re-releases. Yeah, this is the old Skarsnik novel for fantasy
Yep, and then we got
and Carrying Crusade.
yep, Angel of Fire. That's coming out. We got the Angels of Darkness, Gathrop Anniversary Edition book coming out. The free Black Library Celebration 2023 book. You usually pick these up at your local GW stores.
Yep.
And they usually just give this out for free. I think I have the 2021, the one with the Mechanicus on it. Bellicalius call on it. Cypher Lord. Sorry, Cypher Lord of the Fallen. Being made by John French. John French is the Eldar guy, right? He was the one who writes all the Eldar, or is that
That's
Gabthor?
Gabthor.
Okay.
Yeah. John Friends just kind of writes random things. Some of it's quality. I like some of the stuff.
Okay. We'll see how this goes, but if the what is it called? What did we look at? The image that GW leaked but made super blurry is correct. I mean, Dark Angels will be playing a huge role in the upcoming narrative, so I assume there'll be the poster child of 10th if the line is to be coming in 10th edition.
That'd be kind of cool.
We getting that. Some alternate versions of the cover. I kind of really like the black book with the plasma glow on it. That's
pretty cool.
That's a chef kiss right there. That is beautiful. And then we got 2023 releases, which is just gonna be a AOS vampire book, the last Soulblight, or sorry, the last Volari, which I assume you're gonna pick up since you.
I don't know. I think I. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if pick it up. Not all.
Not
Not
all
all
vampires are the same.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really in the mood for AOS literature at the moment, kind of like you. I mean, I've liked some AOS books, but I'm just not in the mood for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to the Gotrek audio drama, but I don't think I could see myself reading any more AOS stuff. I'm trying to read one of the Warhammer horror novels, and it's solid, but I'd rather read 30K right now, to be honest.
Well, we got a Pilgrims of Fire, the Sisters of Battle book coming out next year. And then we got Godric.
Yeah.
Speaking of Godric, getting a Blight Slayer. Hanging out with a human, still no Felix, I see.
Yeah, no Felix yet. Maybe the next Stormcast release.
That's coming out, and then I think that is it. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. There's Creed. Makes sense. They want to sponsor the next the daughter of Creed, since they just gave her a new model. I don't really have any interest in this book. It'll be whatever. Armageddon and the Bearers box set collection.
So if this is signed, I will buy this. This is like one of my favorite Warhammer novels ever. Hell's Reach.
Mm.
Well, it's a two-piece. It's Hell's Reach and the follow-up short story. But yeah, this is Hell's Reach is one of my favorite Warhammer, probably my favorite Warhammer novel. And it's the one Warhammer novel I recommend to people who haven't read Warhammer because it's a first of all it's a Space Marine novel, and if you want to get into Warhammer, you should probably get into like read something about Space Marines because they're kind of the poster child of Warhammer, and that's my opinion. And this is a very good self-contained story that actually tells a good story about a space. I mean, about not just a Space Marine, but a guy with a model. Like this is Grimaldus's book,
Grimaldus.
and yeah, it's not just bolter drama or sorry bolter like scenes everywhere. It's not just all fight scenes, or actual story and character development, and yeah, it's really good. So if this is signed, if it's not signed, I'll debate picking it up. But if it's signed or something, I will buy this instantly.
Oh, there you
Maybe
go.
I'll just buy it because it's a limited edition model or limited edition book of my favorite book. So
All right then. Glowing recommendation from John right there.
yeah,
Uh, the terror map, and I think I don't
yeah,
know.
Age of Terra maps, they're kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean we've seen this before. They've teased these so many times,
Yeah.
and that is it. That is the Black Library showcase. Interesting stuff. Some stuff I might actually pick up, but that is that. I say we just get into our hobby rant section here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Uh, I'll start because I have done nothing
Oh,
but play Warhammer Darktide.
oh, nice. How is it?
Uh, it's. I would say Vermintide 2 is better than
Mhm.
Darktide. Uh, Obviously Darktide has its pros, but I think gameplay wise, I think Vermintide 2 takes it. I'm still having
Okay.
a lot of fun with it. It's a lot of good stuff to have. Because you can make the same class, sharpshooter, skull, ogre and ogrin. You can double up in the same party. It's cool to see that they all have their own special dialogue with each other.
Okay.
So it's not just, I mean, you'll probably hear the same thing over and over again when you're teamed up with the same people, or the very popular classes are the sharpshooter and the battle sister. So
Hmm.
you'll hear their conversations quite a lot. But depending on the voice type you picked and the class you are, you'll have different dialogues every time you join a party. So that's
Okay.
very cool. Um, the story is kind of whatever. So I mean, it's not really what I would expect. I mean, I know Dan Abnett wrote it, but story wise, it's like whatever.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I've been having a blast with right now. This week, I think we're gonna play some Shadows of Brimstone. I think that's what we're gonna plan to do.
Okay.
So get some good old dungeon crawling going on,
There you go.
I gotta get some stuff painted and built, so very rusty right now on that aspect, but that is that. Oh, I want to talk about this because I keep forgetting to bring this up. I have
Okay.
finished Horus Heresy.
Which one?
I am blanking on the book right now. The
First one?
first book, yeah.
Oh, Horus Rising, I
Horus
believe.
Rising. I have finished Horus Rising. I finished that like 3 weeks ago, and I'm beginning False Gods.
Okay.
And I must say, man, False Gods, Brad McNeil makes his book so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Horus Rising was good, but I mean, it's the first book. It's got to set up everything, so it's not too interesting to me. But man,
Right.
False Gods, whew, yeah, I'm like enthralled with that book right now.
That's good.
Again, I have read these books before, but it's been like 6 years since I last read the first three books of the Horus Heresy. So I'm kind of just going back and rereading or listening to them now. And I'm gonna say I'm happy, and I'm gonna try to see if I can catch up because Death of Terra or whatever. It's
Digitera.
yeah, that's gonna be big news
Oh
when
yeah.
those finally get done, and I wanna be part of the hype.
That is, yep.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing. What about you, John? What have you been up to?
So actually, first I played Heresy game on Friday. Dark Mechanicum versus Imperial Fists, 3,000 points, super fun, super close game. Um, so that was super fun. But the big thing for me last week was I played at a Star Wars Legion tournament.
You in
Um,
a tournament?
yeah, and I got third place.
Oh shit!
A 10-player tournament, so pretty happy about that. I played Empire. I
Oh,
played Double Bounty, Boba, IG. Had Iden, Inferno Squad, some basic troopers, snipers, generic commander. Yeah, it was super fun. First game I played against like a newer player, so I mean he wasn't like he knew his rules, but his list wasn't like the most
competitive.
efficient and fine tuned. So and the thing with Legion is something I learned was that if you wanna get good, it's really knowing the objective deck if you wanna play competitively. And my army was like 787 points. So I had a 13-point bid. So I could use my objective deck, and I knew which missions would be there, and I played those missions a lot. Well, not a lot. I played some of them a lot, not all of them. I still haven't played a ton of games with this list, but I picked the mission that I was comfortable with, and I just kind of dominated because I knew the mission. It was the one where you pick up the crates. There's one in the middle, and each player gets two they can set up outside their zone, and you just pick it up, and at the end of the game, if you hold it, you win, or you get points. And I got that. I got both oh, I got one bounty, which was I killed Luke with Boba, so I got the bounty there. And so I got the win first game. Second game, I played against Shadow Collective, which is the mercenaries. And that mission was it's the one where there's three objective points and you score every other turn. And that one, it was against Darth Maul. But and the game was pretty close early on. I threw a lot of dice at some Mandalorians, but they just kept making their saves. Eventually, I made them panic, just run away. So much suppression, but didn't really. For the amount of shots I threw, the guy was just making saves. But thankfully, I made them run, and I got some bounty kills with IG against the Pike Syndicate leaders because they're pretty squishy. They're cheap, but they're squishy, so I was able to get some bounty points there. But the turning point came when Darth Maul came out of the bus that was transporting him, charged a stormtrooper unit, killed them in one shot, which is normally, oh crap, they died. But like, wait a second, Mahal is now exposed, and I think that turn he put an order. He played a command card for Cad Bane, So Cad Bane had an order, but Maul didn't. So he drew Maul from the bag like midway through the turn and did that. And so I had half my army left, and half my army just killed Maul. I was able to get the bounty on Maul again with Boba Fett. And I mean, after that, he still had some Mandos and some and the bus left and Cad Bane. But at that point, if I played defensively, I would have gotten the win anyway. But I decided to try to push my advantage and killed Cad Bane and just kind of steamrolled. I actually tabled that game. So that was pretty good. The final game was a super close game. It was funny. It was the buy because it was the TO. So the TO wanted to play. Well, he needed to play because it had an uneven number of players. One person didn't show up, and he played Shadow Collective, and the deployment was long ways. So we deployed on the short edges, and it was the mission where there's three terrain pieces, one in the middle, and two you select, and you score at the end of the game. And he also had Darth Maul, a bunch of pikes and buses. First few turns, I was doing pretty well. I was plinking because my army is way more long range than him. So I was plinking the buses with Iden and Inferno Squad. And eventually I killed the bus pretty early. But the turning point for him was when he, I attack or I move Boba Fett to get some shots at Maul, and I dealt one wound. It's like, okay, not bad. And I think, and then when we talk after, that was the best. That was a good move, was to try to do some wounds on Maul with Boba Fett. But then the next turn, I played Whipcord and Boba Fett, and he played, which lets me immobilize Maul, and he played like one of Maul's one pips, and he charged Maul in and one shot at Boba, and it's like, oh, that's not good. That and even my opponents, oh, I didn't expect that. Like Maul should not one shot Boba at full health, but that happened, and which wasn't wouldn't be which was uphill for me, but wouldn't be the end of the game. But what pushed the game in his favor even more was I blew up the bus, and he was able to get some Black Suns on the center terrain piece, and now they're in heavy cover, and and this guy was just making all his saves, and eventually he just won the attrition game because Maul was alive. I took me way too long to kill some of his units in the middle, and he did score the win for a close game, and I ended up on technically it's funny because I'm fourth place, but the guy who was the buy, he ended up winning like 3-0 because he just I guess he just rolled really hot for the entire tournament, and he was like, I didn't plan to win, and he ended up getting first. So, but we scored below that, so I got the third place. Um, but yeah, that was super fun. I really liked my list. I'm probably gonna play it more just to get more experience with it. And yeah, it was a super fun time. Star Wars Legion is a great game.
No, I mean the important thing is you had fun playing the game
Oh yeah,
on the competitive level.
yeah, and it wasn't like hardcore competitive. It was an RTT equivalent, but there were some good players there, and and yeah, like, and Legion's a game where the game itself is just good.
Hmm.
Um, so it was just a fun experience playing. Getting 3 games in. So that was cool. I liked it. We'll play more in the coming year. And speaking of Legion, points update is dropping on Thursday, so probably
What
gonna chat about
is
that in the next cast.
so the what they're going to be updating all the points?
Yeah, and that's gonna be a big deal because right now Republic needs a points update because they're overcosted. The Pike Syndicate arm of Shadow Collective needs a points increase. They're way too efficient for what they can do. Super tanky with all the dodges. They do a good amount of damage, and they're stupid cheap or something.
What about the OGs, Imperium and Rebels?
Actually, Imperial and Rebels are in a good spot right now. I think Empire has way more list variety than Rebels. Rebel troopers are really good. What's
Wookiees?
kind of hit? I mean, veterans are solid, but they're not like Rebel trooper good. Luke
Hmm.
Skywalker is amazing, but you have stuff like Leia is okay. Chewbacca doesn't do much. Wookiees are whatever. Um, So we're hoping to see some points decreases like tauntauns or whatever stuff like that to help rebels out. Because they're good. Their faction balance isn't as good as Empire,
Mm-hmm.
and droids are struggling against Shadow Collective because the thing with pikes is they do dodge spamming really well because they just get a lot of dodges, and droids don't have a lot of tools to go to pierce through dodge spam. So if pikes get, it's funny because if pikes get nerfed, then droids will get buffed just because their natural predator is getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mentioned, clones are just in a bad spot right now. There's like one list that does well with clones, and that's it. Like any other build will not do well. So it should be fun once that comes out. See what kind of list, what kind of like how it opens the game.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see because, like you said, it comes out Monday,
Thursday.
Thursday. It comes out Thursday, so have some time to digest that. Take a look at it, see what all the major changes are going to be happening. Now, I don't know if you know, is it just going to be units or is it going to be upgrade cards as well being
It's
changed?
gonna be upgrade cards as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I think Vigilance is the one that definitely needs a points increase. Vigilance is a command upgrade. What it does is pick 2 units with dodge tokens. If they're core units, you could pick 2. If it's not core, you could pick 1. If they have a dodge token, they keep it until the next turn. It's a pretty powerful upgrade,
Yeah, it sounds
and
pretty
I'm
powerful.
expecting to get a points increase.
All right, then. Well, we'll have to wait till next week to discuss that.
Yeah.
I think we'll call it there. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end, and we'll see you next time.
And everyone.